All right, everyone, here's another one. Um, Test prep example 2, using compound angle formulas to simplify questions that are otherwise rude. And this is what I mean. The question could ask something like, use a compound angle formula to rewrite this as a single trig function and then give the exact value of this function. Oh, and by the way, as this video goes on, if you suddenly start to hear crying and whining in the background, that's my baby girl. I think she's teething, and so she's suffering a lot in her sleep. So here we go. To reiterate, um, let me explain to you just why this question might be considered rude. If I were to, because some of you are still better with degrees, if I were to convert these angles into degrees, sine 13 pi over 12 is the equivalent of sine 195 degrees, which is not, which does not have a acute related angle of 30, 45, or 60 degrees. Cosine of 5 pi over 12 is 75 degrees, which again does not have a correlated function degree or is not equal to 30, 45, or 60. So it's 195, 75, 195, 75, and you cannot use special triangles to solve any of them, and therefore rude, right? So let's talk about how we can solve it. The question actually gives you a prompt. Use a compound angle formula to rewrite that as a single function. So if you recognize sine cos minus cosine, that is equivalent to sine of an angle plus another, angle minus the other angle. In other words, this is equivalent to, if you didn't know, you should know, 13 pi over 12 minus 5 pi over 12. And if you work that out, this is actually equal to sine 8 pi over 12, or sine of 2 pi over 3. And that angle might seem a little familiar to you. But see, all of a sudden, again, let me rewrite this. This is basically 120 degrees, but let's stay with radians. You suddenly have a single angle. It's a lot easier to master. You've noticed that 2 pi over 3 is going to be in quadrant 2. Why? It is larger than half of a pi, 1 over 2, but it is smaller than 0 over 3 pi, right? It's larger than 1.5 pi over 3, and it is smaller than 3 pi over 3. And so I know it's in quadrant 2. That means I can rewrite this using cast rule as an angle, as its acute related angle. So if it was in quadrant 2, CAST, the original, the original rotation is going to be the same as pi minus the acute related angle. So if 2 pi over 3 is equal to 3 pi over 3 minus the related angle, the related angle is going to be 1 pi over 3. In other words, sine 2 pi over 3 can be rewritten as just pi over 3 using cast rule, right? In case you weren't following, this angle, the angle that is given, is essentially the same as pi minus the related, and we can use a related based on cast rule. So sine pi over 3, oh, I forgot. Is this plus or minus? Well, because it's in quadrant 2, sine will remain positive. And pi over 3, using special triangles, 3, root 3 over 2. We're done. As easy as that. So this question might seem very difficult at first, but once you do these compound angle formula to simplify, typically the questions that you see in the test will make the resulting angle so much more manageable. So 1 mark for being able to use the compound angle formula to get a manageable one. The second one, using your grade 11 skills to do cast rule and get the right answer. 1 mark, 1 mark. This is probably going to be about 2 marks only, right? Again, Seems like you're doing a lot of work, but it's not. You can't overcomplicate this question. It's relatively straightforward. Okay, it tells you what you're supposed to do. So here we go. I'm going to ask you to pause this video and try this next question. I would like you to try, um, same thing, use a compound angle formula to rewrite this, let's see, 5 pi over 6, sorry, and cos pi over 6 plus sine 5 pi over 6 sine pi over 6. Okay, being worth 2 marks, I expect you to be able to do this within 2 to 3 minutes. You shouldn't waste more time doing it. So here it is. Use a compound angle formula to rewrite what I wrote here as a single trig function, and then determine the exact value for this function. Pause the video, give it a shot now. You have 3 minutes. Did you try it? I'm hoping you paused it to give yourself a chance. I will give you the answer in 3, 2, 1. Cos cos plus sine sine, cos cos and sine sine. That is indicative of a compound angle formula for cosine. It is A minus B, not A plus B. What does that mean? That means this is going to be rewritten as cosine of 5 pi over 6 minus pi over 6, which is cosine 4 pi over 6 or 2 pi over 3. Looks familiar? It should. Being in the second quadrant, CAST, if I rewrite this using a acute related angle, it is going to be negative of cosine. And so let's see, in quadrant 2, the main angle, original angle, is going to be 2 pi over, so full pi minus the related angle, which means original 2 pi over 3 is equal to pi, so 3 pi over 3, minus the related angle. The related angle is going to be 1 pi over 3. So what is cosine of pi over 3? 1, 2, 3, 1. It is going to be negative 1 over 2. Shouldn't take you more than a minute or two. All right, keep it up. So this is an example question for using a compound angle formula to simplify very complex looking expressions. Hope that helps. Study hard and see you in the next video.